I'm going to install this mirror over here. Recently I had it on the wall behind me, but it's only useful if you're in here and the door's closed, and the door's not often closed and I'm here alone. So I'm going to install it on these tiles. I don't want to break the tiles, obviously, so I'm using a proper tile bit. And to be able to do this without breaking the tile and without having it skip across the front of the tile, I'm going to put a piece of tape over it to help me sort of get that first angle into the tile. My tape, don't want to lose that mark, so I'm going to replicate it on here. You want to come in at an angle first. If I just try and do that, it's not likely to catch. So you've got to kind of start on the side.
Once you've managed to drill a little bit of a hole with it on its side, you very slowly angle it up so that it's straight. This is the best way to get a hole without it skipping on the surface. And now that it's at the correct angle, I'm just drilling slowly without too much pressure to get the hole without it breaking.
Okay, that's now gone through to the plasterboard. That's what we wanted. Second one's going to be here. Okay, this one does actually need a bit more. There we go, and then you can just take this tape back off. You've got yourself a perfect hole, which is almost on where I put it. Let me show you. Okay. I mean, it's actually ever so slightly offset from where the hole is, so hopefully this actually fits. That just happened to be where the second hole fit. Usually I wouldn't put it through the grouting, but here we are. Okay, that'll fit, that's fine. Doesn't matter. I'll get myself a couple of regular plugs and pop them in there, and then I'll be ready to hang. Got myself some plugs. These are size 6, which is the same size as the bit that I used here. Might need to get my hammer for some tappy taps. I've also picked up 2 plasterboard wood screws. These are not actually designed for installing something like this, but I picked them up because they're black. There are probably better screws that I could use, but I want the colours to match more than I am fussed about using the right screws, so that's what we're going to use. Oh, that's a bit hard. Don't want to make myself cry. I already know this is going to be fiddly to install because I kind of need an extra pair of hands. Pop this here. Let's rest it up against there, place the screws in temporarily, and then see if I can get away with... Where's the other one? Yeah. Definitely are slightly out of, not quite in the right place. Oh dear. Didn't draw the little dot on the tape very well. And as a result, these are in slightly the wrong place. Well, I'm going to screw it in gently, enough so that it can withstand being yanked around, but not enough so that I end up cracking the tiles. It's not going to fit flush to that anyway, because these tiles are slightly rippled, if that's the right word. Yeah, that's really solid on there, that's going nowhere. Happy with that. There we go. Now when I'm looking in the mirror, I can be like, oh, have I got something I got something in my teeth. No, I got it, don't worry. There we go.
Next up in this bathroom transformation, I decided to upgrade these skirting boards. Now previously I had glossed these with some oil-based paint, and so I needed to sand it down so there would be something for the new paint to key to. I find sanding skirting boards to be just one of the worst jobs, and I tried my best to get into all of the crevices with my sander. The paint that I decided to use was this kind of all-in-one smart paint by Leyland that's supposed to be possible to use on any surface. So I could, in theory, use this to paint the skirting boards and then the wall as well. Although, having said that, I'm not sure if it's designed to be bathroom paint, but it seems to be the kind of paint that's designed to be a good all-rounder, and I wanted to give it a go. It seemed to apply reasonably well, although I did find the coverage wasn't great. I did need to apply a few different coats on top of the blue around the door frame that I painted. Oh, I don't even know if I explained that I was going to do the doorway. So this used to be blue. The bit that I'm painting right now used to be dark blue, which matched the colour in the hallway, which looks really good on the door frame outside the room, but inside the room it just looks a little bit odd. So I've painted just the inside of the doorway, leaving the outside still blue. And I used a little mini brush to get this perfectly straight line. Since I had the blue paint to hand, I thought I would pop down into the hallway and try and fix something from my previous project. There's a couple of chipped areas of paint where I had some little hooks that were glued to the wall, and when I popped them off, they took the paint with them. So I sanded that area just a little bit before doing this, and then I'm adding this paint to cover up the area that was chipped. I love using little diddy paintbrushes for stuff like this because it makes the job a lot easier. You can be very intricate with it, get in there close to objects, and they are super fast to clean.
I'm just installing the toilet back. I added a piece of wood between the cistern and the wall because there wasn't one there before, and that meant that this couldn't sit flush over the top. It was always being pushed forward, which is not what I wanted. I managed to catch the wall a little bit there, so I filled in a hole and need to repaint that, but this will now fit perfectly over the top. I mean, you know, providing I put all the bits in. Just imagine it fits. I'm also just re-adding the screws. Let's pop that in there. Ooh. Don't want to do it too tight because there's a risk of it cracking the porcelain. That side's done too. When it comes to screwing the cistern against the wall, I've actually included one of these washers because the hole is too large for any of my screws. So that is going to go in there like that. Also going to put on that side so that it's secure, which would be nice because I haven't had the back secured before now, and that has meant that the toilet was a bit loose and sometimes I would sit on it and it would move, and that's really disconcerting.
There's lots of DIYs that I absolutely love doing, but hanging doors is not one of them. It can be so fiddly. I basically propped this in place. I've got some little devices, these little bags that you can pump air into that you put underneath the door that help you to raise it to exactly the right height, but I can't find them at this very second, and it would probably take me longer to go and find them than it would just to hang this door. And so what you can't quite see off of camera is that I've put a book underneath the door, a couple of books. And the great thing about using books is they can be as thick or as thin as you like, because you can just put as many pages as you like underneath the door to make sure that it's at the perfect height to help you screw the door in. And everyone's got books, right?
This is my toilet roll holder. There was loads of glue on the bottom, which I just removed with a heat gun. I've got a couple of spare pads that I picked up from a recent project. I'm going to take these off. I'm going to stick them on here, and I'm going to stick this back up. I I felt the best way to work out where it should go is to just sit on the toilet and work out what feels good. It needs to go this way and not this way, because when you pull the toilet paper towards you, it's likely to pop off. So I'm going to put it in line with the bum gun. That looks quite nice. Yeah, that'll do. Being annoying.
And after all that, I can confirm that I did actually end up putting this on quite wonky. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel.